Hello all, my name is Max. I'm going to be your Space Master today. Today we're going to go over a little bit about research, what it is, how to use it, what's in general going on with it. So let's go ahead and get started up here, research. And let's go ahead and take a look at what we have. What's important, a lot of this is going to be my opinion, and a lot of it's going to be contextual based, meaning it's going to be based on the facts of your game compared to mine. But this is a great way to get at least started. Um, let's go ahead and I'm going to cancel some of these guys here. All right, so um, within Aurora, there's 8 uh, different types of science that you can look over. They're all right here. When you're starting off in in the game that we did, we have 20 research facilities, and the base research per research facility assigned to a scientist is 200. Um, so, for example, let's pick Max Burrows. He has a 0 bonus, and we'll tell him to do this terraforming module. What that means, what all this means, he has 1 research lab. Um, so he's making 200 research points, and the RPs required is 5,000. It'll give you the completion date. All right. Each scientist has a specialization. That's why there's 8 different ones here. You want to match your scientists with the uh, the field, the research field that you're trying to go with. For example, let's see. This guy's got biology. We'll do perfect. This lines up excellently. All right. Charlotte here has a bonus in logistics at 10%, and she's researching a biology project. Her 10% bonus goes to her annual RP. So she's getting 200 because she has 1 research lab plus 10%. However, George here specializes in biology. So what he has is a 4 times his bonus here. So it's actually 40, and you can see that reflected right here. Accordingly, he's going to finish his research project sooner than they are, even though they are the same research projects, or the same total number of research points are required for the same project here. Um, so this just to give you an idea. What you can do is click on certain scientists and tell them to here's more research labs, and they'll make them research faster. And we can do the same to her, and then you can also see the difference that 10 versus 40% makes. I'm going to take her off of this. One important thing in biology to me is getting the terraforming module first and then doing the terraforming rate. The genome sequence research is useful in creating a new species. And to create a new species, you can see here, you can change their temperature range, their base temperatures, oxygen, gravity, in order to fit better colonies. You can put colonies on different planets a little bit better. I don't ever use new species, so I don't think I've ever gone further than genome sequence research. But terraforming to me is very important. And the terraforming module is a module that you can put on a ship, so you have a terraforming uh, a terraformer on a ship that's mobile, and you can move it from one planet to the other. The alternative is going to industry, creating a terraforming installation, and then using your civilian fleet, see last tutorial, to move those terraforming units around. It's just better to have it in a ship, in my opinion, so that's why I do the terraforming module first with biology. Construction production, I'm going to skip that for right now. That'll be the last thing we cover. Defensive systems are just that. We have armor. You can cloak your ships, and you have shields. And then thermal reduction makes your ships. If you have a ship with 100 thermal 100 thermal signature, that means the engine's producing so much. Well, if you have this thermal reduction on there, it'd only be 75%, meaning that they can get closer to a sensor without them noticing. Um, so that can get useful, especially in tandem with the cloaking theory. Let's go down to energy weapons. There's all sorts of different weapons here that you can research. Most of them have to do with damage and then accuracy. I would like to refer you to aurora.pentarch.org that goes over in very much detail what the different weapon systems do, their uses. For example, microwave is non-lethal damage versus laser, which has a certain type of damage output versus a mason versus a particle beam. I'd really like to refer you there, and it sort of goes beyond the scope of this overview of technology. Logistics and ground combat. This is different things that you can put on your ships, different things that you can put on your star bases when we get to those, and then different units as well. I don't know why those two are combined, but they are. So you can upgrade your ground unit strength. You can get troop transport bays put into drop ships, and you can launch them either on planets or take over another ship. One very important thing in logistics and ground combat, and it's I think pretty much agreed with everyone, that the first thing that you should be researching is the improved command and control. I'm going to give Charlotte here 15 research labs to do it. What the improved command and control does is allows you, let's go to summary, to assign a sector governor. And the sector governor applies his or her bonuses to every single planet within that system that she is a governor over. And as we build more of these sector commands, we can expand, one star system to the next and to the next. So, for example, we don't have sectors. At the first level, it'll apply to Seoul, and then at the second level to these next four, but not to Easy and Manchester. And then at the next level, it'll apply to all of them. And why I said may be inaccurate, the first level it might be these closest ones, and then the second level be the third system out, then the fourth system out, and the fifth system out, and so on and so forth. For now, I'm going to research that so I can apply a bonus to the Earth, the Moon, Rymuth, Temple Tuttle, all at the same time. So it's very important to have in terms of applying bonuses across the board here. Fuel storage, I mean, a lot of this is self-explanatory. Missiles and kinetic weapons, all this are the missiles. And this is going to be very important when it comes to combat because missiles have such a long range, and you can expect your ships to do battle at very, very long ranges. And having an edge on missile and kinetic weapons are going to be very important. And if you take a look at each one and you click on it, it can tell you, what each description is. So I'm going to let you look over that by yourself. If you would like to know some good things to do, we can start off with the fusion boosted warhead that increases the strength of the missile that you're firing. Magazine ejection and feed system that just helps with the logistics of getting missiles into your ship, and then if your magazine's hit, have you ever seen the old shows where Hornblower comes to mind, where if you hit a naval ship on the seas and you hit their powder keg, the whole ship just blows up? Well, that's the same thing with magazines. If they hit a magazine, it's going to automatically try to eject all the missiles inside it. And with this research, it can make that an 80% chance that they're all out. Missile agility, that helps with accuracy, and missile launcher reload rate allows you to fire more at once. Those are the five that you should be focusing on with missiles, but at the very beginning of the game, it's not very important. Power and propulsion, we'll get to next. Sensors and fire control, this allows you to see ships at further distances, especially with active grav sensor strength. EM sensor, thermal sensors are all important, but a lot of this is also focused on how far you're how far you can see another enemy and control your computers in trying to hit the other enemy's ship. Um, so for example, um, we have a beam fire control range. We can make it a little bit longer um, to have better accuracy at longer ranges here. That's essentially what it's coming down to. Let's go over to power and propulsion next. This is going to be focused on the jump engines and engines of all your ships. And then capacitors are for energy weapons. Anyway, fuel consumption is going to be very important. It helps you conserve your fleet so you don't have all these fuel shortages, and they'll come up, trust me. But having a good fuel consumption just helps you out on that, and it also extends the range of your ships as well, having a better fuel consumption. Um, Stellar fusion reactor technology. Now this is it gets a bit confusing. What you have out there are reactor power, which is this, and then you've also got your um, I'm showing all the projects. I'll show completed. You have your reactor technology, and then you have engine technology, and you build on top of each. So you first do your reactor, and then you do the engine associated with that reactor. Then you do the next reactor level, and then you do the engines associated with that. So it is a slow process, but it's an important one to speed up your entire fleet, and the civilians would like that too. They will upgrade their ships in accordance to the fastest known engine out there. Um, and right now we have the ion drive technology, and what was required before that was the I don't remember, but this is all picked um, before you. But yeah, okay. So this was the gas-cooled fast reactor. It's the prerequisite for the ion engines. And if you click on stellar fusion, well, the next drive that's coming up is plasma drive. So if we go ahead and research that, then the next one that comes up is the magneto plasma drive, and then you can research that. All right. Finally, construction production, probably the more important one in the game. You can research rate, for example, and that obviously increases the amount of research that you can do from 200 to 240, and then plus all the bonuses. Construction rate, right now what we are doing on construction is 10, but if we increased it to 12, that's every factor that you have goes from 10 to 12. It increases the speed at which you can construct things. Same with fighters, same with shipbuilding. These are all very important. The most important at the beginning of the game might be the Sorium Harvester, and that's just to allow your civilian ships to have a module in which that they can go out and mine for fuel for you. Um, so that's always nice. It's a good thing to get for your civilian fleet, and then you can focus in on other things. Um, my default order goes research to mining to construction to shipyard operations, shipbuilding, um, and then everything else is just contextual. What needs to happen? Do we need a bigger civilian economy that increases your wealth rate, um, or do you need to speed up your fuel production? It just depends on what you need. But I always get the research, mining, construction, and then the shipyard. All right, that does it for technology. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget, by the way, with I don't think I went over this. You can queue up different projects. For example, you have this terraforming module. Click on the person you want to make a queue for, and then click on the research project you want, and then come down to queue, and now you have it in a queue right there. And then you can select that for different people here. Ground unit strength queued. So when George is done, then he goes to his next thing. And you can queue up multiple ones. But let's say, oh, well, actually this one's going to be a bigger focus to me. For example, oh, I want the assault infantry battalion before everything else, so you can queue to the top. And then you can always remove research labs and give them to other people, but for now, that's fine. All right, I hope you learned a lot, and I think we are all done with this one. For now, actually, no, there's a little bit more. I'll do an addendum after this.